Um, After dealing with significant figures, and we know the rules for expressing any number as a given number of significant figures. That is what we did in the last lesson we had. The new lesson here, what do you have? The new lesson here, we have standard form of numbers. Standard form of numbers. And what are we doing in standard form of numbers? We are trying to write numbers in standard form. And why should we write numbers in standard form? So that we can express two small numbers and very big numbers in an easy way that we can read and also write. Imagine if you have been given 0.3 zeros or 0.10345. See, that is very long and it is a very small number. So we can express any bigger number or any other smaller number in standard form, a way of compressing them. Now, what are standard form of numbers? Now, note here and say, a number in standard form, a number in standard form is expressed. A number in standard form is expressed in the form of a number in standard form is expressed in the form of a times 10 raised to power n. We're expressing it in the form of a times 10 raised to power n. Where what? Where a is a number equals to or greater than 1. It can be 1 or greater than 1, and n is an integer. So a number equals to and greater than 1, but this number must be less than 10. And n is an integer. Integer means it can be negative, it can be 0, or it can be positive. That is what you need to understand. So where a is a number, equal to or greater than 1, but less than 10. So that number, which is your a, must be equals to or greater than 1, and the same number must be less than 10. We say that that number is our a. And n is an integer, and n is an integer. So the first subtopic that we dealt with are integers. So integers, what did you say? Positive, 0, and negative numbers. They make an integer. So when you express a number in this form, where a is a number between 1, it is greater or equals to 1 but less than 10, and n is an integer which can be positive, negative, or 0. We say that the number is in standard form. Before we continue, I want to remind you of one thing. We are touching lives. We want to change lives for those people who cannot access schools for various reasons, but they have internet connection, and also for those people that are shy or cannot approach the teachers for consultation for various reasons. We are doing these lessons for them. So what I want you to do, join the movement. We are always looking for great people to help us in this work. This is what I'm doing during my free time. It is 15th of February 2026, which is on a Sunday, and I'm here recording this to help other people. Just subscribe, like. Why? In order for the video to go to the next person and to make your own contribution. Let us now see how to write numbers in standard form. Now let us consider. Express in standard form. Express in standard form. Express in standard form. What are we expressing in standard form? 3,452. 3,452. So we are expressing 3,452 in standard form. So let me express it this side. So my solution. What am I going to do? I have 3,452. I'm being told to write this number in between 1 and less than 10. So I'll ask myself, for any whole number, where is the position of the decimal point? For all whole numbers, decimal point is always to the right of the ones digit. So this is where I have my decimal point here. So if I place the decimal point here, it is 3,452. If I place it here, it is 345.2, still greater than 10. If I place it here, it will be 34.52, greater than 10. So if I place it here, it is 3.452, which is now between 1 and 10, what we wanted. Greater or equals to 1, but less than 10. So this is now the right point where I should be placing my decimal place. If I bring it here, it is 0.3. 0.3 is a number less than 1. So the correct point is 3.452. That's the first step. Then ask yourself, what can I do in order to get back to my number, which is 3,452? I multiply by 1, 2, 3. So this now multiply by 1,000. If I multiply by 1,000, what will I get? I'll get this number. So ensure that if you are expressing your numbers in standard form, the value of the number remains the same. Don't interfere with the value of the number. I'm very sure if I take this and multiply by, if I take 1,000 and multiply by 3.42, I'll get 3,452. Step 1. The next step, what do? I have to express this 1,000 to powers of 10, as powers of 10. So 1,000 is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 10 raised to power 3. So this one can be written as 3.452 times 10 raised to power 3. And 10 raised to power 3, if I express it here, it is 10 times 10 times 10, whatever we did in index form. This now 10 multiplied by itself, 1, 2, 3. 3. That's why I'm having 10 raised to power 3 here. So ask yourself, A here is 3.452. That's number 1. A is 3.452. Then 10 is maintained here and our N is 3. So from here I can say A is 3.452. Then N is 3. I've written this number in standard form. So from here, there's one thing you need to understand. There's something you have observed here. What is it? This number was greater than 10. So you need to understand that when expressing a number greater than 10 in standard form, the power of 10 will always be positive. That what have I said? When expressing a number greater than 10 in standard form, the power of 10 is always positive. Note that one down. When expressing a number greater than 10 in standard form, the power of 10 is always positive. Why? The number here should be less than 10 and greater than 1. 3.452 times 10 raised to the power 3 was 3,452. So A is 3.52 and our N here is 3. So you see, 3 is a positive number. That is one thing you have to understand. Then next, an example. Call it example 1. I want you to understand this. So already you have noted one thing. When expressing a number greater than 10 in standard form, the power of 10 is positive. So once you know, you just be moving, then you write your power of 10 positive. You count the number of places, the number of steps the decimal point has to move from the right to the position where you want it. Next, expressed in standard form. Express in standard form. Expressed in standard form. What is this we are expressing in standard form? 0.005 0.0056. Now, solution, we don't need to waste time on this. 0.0056. Where is the position of the decimal point? Already here we can see this is not a whole number, this is a decimal number. In a decimal number, we can see the position of the decimal point. But for a whole number, the decimal point is always to the right of the ones digit. So you move it from right to left. It will also be positive power. Here, we are moving the decimal point where? Let us see. If I place it here, still 0 point, a number less than 1. If I place it here, still 0 point, a number less than 1. If I place it here, this now 5.6, a number greater than 1 but less than 10. That is our number in standard form. If I place it here, it will be 56 point. That's greater than 10. So I'll have it as 5.6. Then I ask myself, what can I do in order to go back? In order to go back to my values. What was your original number? 0.56. 0.0056. What can I do in order to go back to this number? I've moved 1, 2, 3. 3 steps. So in order to go back to 0.0056, I have to divide by 1000. So you say this one, divide by 1000. And you have been told that if we have to divide this one by 1000 in order to go back to 0.056, dividing by 1000 is the same as multiplying by 1 over 1000. We need to understand that. So 5.6 times 1 out of 1000. So dividing by 1 is the same as multiplying by 1 over 1000. Dividing by 1000 is the same as multiplying by 1 over 1000. You need to understand that. So 5.6 times 1 out of 1000. Then what do I need to do? I need to, this 1000 here, express it to the powers of 10. So this one, what am I going to have? I'm going to have 5.6 times 1 out of 10 raised to the power 3. Powers of 10 from the indices in index form as base 10. Already we did that last time. That's why I'm moving very fast here. So remember, in laws of indices, under negative indices, we talked about something like this. We are told a number in standard form is expressed in the form of a times 10 raised to the power n. So I have a, I must have times 10 raised to the power n, not 1 over 10 raised to the power 3. So I need to know how to express this. How do you express that? Very simple. We say that if we have a raised to the power negative n, this is the same as 1 over a raised to the power n. That is whatever we talked about in laws of indices. So if you have not go check it out. Laws of indices, we have it there. So here, expressing this, so I'll say 1 over 10 raised to the power 3 is the same as 10 raised to the power negative 3. So this one in standard form will be 5.6 times 10 raised to the power negative 3. So that is what you need to understand. Now, 5.6 times 10 raised to the power negative 3, this is our number expressed in standard form. So here, one thing you have to note. This number is less than 1. When expressing a number less than 1 in standard form, what should we note? The power of 10 should be negative. The power of 10 should be negative. It was just that simple. So express this one in standard form. Express in standard form. What are we expressing in standard form? We have A 902, B 0.0039. So express these two numbers in standard form as a way of practicing. So don't forget to subscribe on the channel and like this video so that they can go to various learners across the country. We have to reach all the learners. So do for them a favor. Show them love. See you in the next video.